You ever look at your pull list and think, why am I actually buying all of this? Not in a frustrated way, not an angry way, and just a curious way. Because at some point, your pull list stops being a list of comics you're excited about. It starts becoming a routine. Today, I want to talk about how I decide what actually goes on that list and not what I should buy, more so not what's hyped, not what everyone else is reading, but what makes sense for me as the reader and the things that I'm into. This isn't a rules video. This isn't advice you have to follow. This is just my process, and maybe it helps you think about yours. For a long time, I treated my pull list like a shopping list. Wednesday comes, new comic book day, of course. Books are out, new comics, everyone hyped, everyone, all for the latest and greatest covers, this, books, stories, this and that. I grab my stack and I'm done. But over time, I realized something that doesn't click for me. A pull list isn't just a list of books that you buy. It's a commitment to your future self. Every book on that list is saying, oh, I'm going to make time for this. And that's important because time is a real currency here, not money. So now when I'm thinking about adding something to my pull list, the first question I ask isn't, oh, does this look good? This is a nice cover. Oh, it's a cool artist, cool writer, cool character. This is this. It's not the first question I ask. The first question is, do I actually want to sit down and read this title? Every book that makes my pull list usually gets there for one of a few reasons. One could be the character. There are characters I will always check out, not because every story is perfect, but because I care enough to give it a chance. So, for example, every Spider-Man title, I know it's not going to be perfect, but I care about the character. Sometimes my title check out, others not. This current Amazing Spider-Man run, can't get into it. But, like Amazing Spider-Man Torn by JMS, I loved it. I checked it out. It could be the creator, like I just said, JMS. I checked out his work, and I learned I really like reading JMS write about Spider-Man. So I'm checking out all his old work. So it could be the creator. If a writer or artist has earned my trust, that matters. JMS, for example. I'll follow creators more than titles sometimes. So yeah, that's that. And also curiosity. Sometimes it's just a vibe, a premise that sounds different. First issue that feels like it's worth the risk of trying, and that's the key part, especially in comics, because it's worth trying things. You not always gonna know what's your cup of tea when it comes to these stories. So when you're trying titles, yeah, you can find that out. No books make my pull list because it exists, not because of the event, not because it's important, not because people online say I have to read it. The interest just have to be there, even if it's small. One thing I've recently implemented is probably, I call it the trial period. This is one of the biggest changes I made. Most new books don't go straight into my pull list permanently. They get a trial period, 2 or 3 issues. Enough time for the story to show me what I'm trying to be, or I give myself permission to stop. No guilt, no, well, I already bought the few first issues, so I might as well finish the collection. Nope, none of that. If a book doesn't grab me by issue 2 or 3, that's information, not failure. Pull list shouldn't feel like homework. I'll keep saying it, and I stand by that. So a story with this one will have to be, you guys can probably get on me for this one, but the latest, what was it? DC, don't give me, it's blanking me right now. Do I have one near me? I probably have one near me. Let's see. Hold on, guys. What are they? Oh, there's a name for them. I know I have. Oh, I guess I don't. Yes, I do. The DC Next Level titles, I couldn't think of what it was called. I know, yeah, whatever. You're not a fan, whatever, guys. But yeah, with the DC Next Level titles, for example, Batwoman, Lobo, Deathstroke, I was giving them all a trial run. Batwoman, the art, I don't know. It's something about the art. I couldn't stick with it. I might give it another try in the future. I might pick up the rest of them to see what's going on, see how this first arc plays out. But I dropped it on issue 2. That's the trial period. I dropped it. Lobo, I dropped it because I just wasn't interested in it. It just wasn't interesting. The art looks cool, but I just wasn't interested in Lobo, so that got dropped. Deathstroke, I love Deathstroke, so I'm gonna stick with Deathstroke a little while. Batwoman, I kind of more so gave myself the okay to drop that because I'm currently still reading Batgirl, and I love Batgirl, so I feel like that's my fix for me right there. Then I got the new Barbara Gordon title, so I'm like, okay, I can comfortably drop Batwoman and just throw that to the wayside for right now. But yeah, so that's kind of goes with my trial period. So far so good, saving me money. So a couple of titles got dropped already. So speaking of all this, here's something I have to learn the hard way. If everything makes your pull list, nothing feels special. So I try to keep my list a size where I'm excited to pick things up. I'm not rushing through the books. I'm not stacking unread issues week after week. I'm trying to get there, but we're slowly getting there. We're slowly reading the things that we pick up each week, and I'm loving it. That means sometimes that just means saying no, even the books I like. Because maybe books are usually the ones that pile up unread, and that right there is in quotations maybe, because maybe books, because maybe I'll get to them, maybe I won't. I'm calling them maybe books. That's my maybe books list, because if I do have some extra money in the week, maybe I go back to a different LCS or my LCS and just pick up those titles. If I don't, I don't. If I do, I do. Eventually I'll get them on the sale somewhere. But continuing on, I also try to leave space. Space for a surprise recommendation, space for a random issue 1, and space for something I didn't plan for. A pull list that's tight does get to breathe. And sometimes when I do leave space, I see myself being able to treat myself to like a nice trade or even an Omni sometimes. For example, I just picked up a Sort of Crisis event, and I'm really excited to jump into that one. So yeah, I'm gonna jump into that this video actually, probably. Early on, my pull list was about volume. More books meant I was more into comics, and that didn't sit right. Now it's the opposite. I'd rather have fewer books, stronger connection, and actual excitement for the titles that I have on my pull list. My taste changed, my time changed, and my reasons for reading changed. And that's normal. Your pull list should evolve with you, not stay frozen in the version of you from 5 years ago, 3 years ago, a month ago. Give yourself grace. I remember there was a point where my pull list was bigger than my actual reading time. I didn't really notice it at first. Every Wednesday, I pick up my stack, flip through it real quick, bag it up, and tell myself, I'll just read it later. And later just kept getting later. At first, I thought that meant I needed to read faster or set aside more time. I mean, of course, we all have time, but with 9 to 5s, life. Well, I'll speak for me, for example. I work 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever you want to call it. Wife, kid on the way. By the way, guys, yeah, kid on the way. Boy, dude. And just everyday life, family, and things of that nature. I'll catch up on the weekend is what I told myself. But what I eventually realized was the problem wasn't time. The problem was just that my pull list was built around possibility and not intention. I was pulling books because they might be good, because they were part of something bigger, because I didn't want to miss out. I hated that feeling, by the way, feeling like, oh, you was going to miss out, so you might want to pull this title. No, just was spending a lot more money that you just could have spent elsewhere. So I started asking myself different questions. If this wasn't on my pull list already, would I add it today? And that question changed everything for me, because some books didn't survive that test, not because they were bad, but because they weren't for where I was anymore. That's when my pull list stopped being about keeping up and started being about showing up. This might sound simple, but it matters. A good pull list feels like anticipation. You look forward to Wednesday. I know we all want to look forward to a good Wednesday. You're excited to open up the bag. You know why each book is there. You know why you're into each book. You know what's going on in each book. Don't feel like it's obligation. You don't feel pressure. I guess I should read this. If your pull list feels heavy, that's not failure. That's a signal. I didn't realize how heavy my pull list felt until it wasn't heavy anymore. There was a week where my stack was smaller than usual, and I remember thinking, this is it. But then I sat down and read every book that night. No rushing, no skimping, no obligation, and it felt good. That's when everything just clicked. A good pull list doesn't make Wednesday feel like an errand. It feels like anticipation, excitement. You're excited to get in there, grab your stack for the day, and sometimes you get through it through that day. And when you do, that's the good feeling. Sometimes, but when you tell yourself, oh, later, you just gotta start asking yourself some questions there. You know why every book is there. You're excited to crack them open. You're not negotiating with yourself about whether you have to read something. It's a difference between picking up a stack and thinking, all right, let's get through this. No one wants to feel that. It's versus you just thinking, oh man, Punisher 4, I can't wait to read this. That feeling is rare, and once you find it, you better start protecting it big time. There was a book I didn't put on my pull list that I probably would have a few years ago. On paper, it checked all the boxes. Character I like, solid creative team, and plenty of buzz on social media, of course. Old me would have added it without thinking. But this time, I paused. See, I put a pause in there, guys? Yeah, I paused. And I asked myself, am I excited about reading this, or do I feel like I just should be? Should I be reading this? That pause was new for me because skipping the book used to feel like falling behind, like I was opting out of the conversation and not being a part of it. And everyone wants to feel a part of the conversation, but that moment, nah. But nothing bad happened. I wasn't a part of the conversation, and nothing bad happened. And look at me now. I still enjoy comics. I still love the medium. I just made a choice that respected my time. That's when I realized something. A healthy pull list isn't about grabbing everything that looks good. It's about knowing what you're ready for. Sometimes the best decision you can make for your pull list is the book that you don't add. That's my process. Not perfect, not universal, just honesty. So I'm curious, how do you decide what goes on your pull list? Do you follow characters, creators, rules, instinct? Drop it in the comments. I read them all, as you guys can see. And if this video helped you think differently about your pull list, consider subscribing. More conversations like this is coming every week. At this point, every day. And remember, guys, at the end of the day, the best pull list is the one that makes you want to read. So get out there and read. Peace.